Loop Joero Ssenyonyi olunaku olwaleero ate kyakoze mu Palamen yankoko bana kali njawulo soke tubirabe olabe ono nti Loop twafuna mulalamu.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to firstly join you and colleagues to express sympathies towards families that have lost their loved ones in that very unfortunate incident in Chigogwa. Scores have died, scores were injured. It's very unfortunate. I do extend my sympathies and commiserations to the families. We need to continuously encourage our people to be vigilant and avoid certain unfortunate incidences, because people were rushing to go and siphon fuel, hoping to make some money for the day. Unfortunately, they met their death. Hopefully, we can keep encouraging our people to be on the lookout and to avoid certain grievous incidences. Finally, I also would like to call upon government. Let's help these people. Let's support them as expeditiously as we possibly can. Many have died. Many are in hospital. They need support. Let's support them. An accident happened. We hope the investigation report comes out soonest. But in the meantime, let us support these people. And Right Honorable Speaker, while we are talking about those who died in the fire and those who were injured, the nearby shops, a couple of them actually got burnt, and people have lost merchandise worth millions of shillings. Government, let's support these people. An accident did happen. Let's reach out to our citizens with support. Right Honorable Speaker, via Rule 53, I would like to present this very brief report of the oversight visit that I carried out with some colleagues to Atiak Sugar Factory on 7th October 2024. I want to begin by tabling a copy of this report. Honorable Speaker and colleagues, the Shadow Cabinet conducted an oversight visit on Monday 7th October 2024 at Atiak Sugar Factory in Amuru District to assess its operational status, economic impact, and challenges. The factory, located in northern Uganda, is a government-supported initiative aimed at reviving the sugar industry in the region, providing employment and promoting economic development in post-conflict areas. Atiak Sugar Factory is an investment located in Atiak, as I have mentioned, Amuru District, that was initiated by a private company called Horial Investments Holding Company Limited, hereinafter called Horial. It was incorporated on 11th April 2013 as a private limited liability company with the aim of setting up a plant to process sugarcane into sugar and its byproducts. The Atiak Sugar Factory began as a private community partnership in the sense that land was provided by the people of northern Uganda. The construction of the company was envisaged as a milestone in facilitating economic recovery in northern Uganda through creation of thousands of jobs for local workers. Additionally, the factory would also promote women empowerment, since they would become the main suppliers of sugarcane. However, Horial soon contracted very expensive short-term credit from a number of financial institutions for purposes of setting up the factory. Upon experiencing difficulty in serving the expensive loans, Horial sought for financial support from government of Uganda on the grounds that this investment was very strategic for the people of northern Uganda. The factory was officially launched on 22nd October 2020. The capacity of this plant in phase 1 was targeted at 1,650 tons of cane crushed per day, to be expandable to 3,500 tons of cane crushed in phase 2, 5,000 in phase 3. According to the shareholder agreement that Government of Uganda through UDC signed with Horial, government intervention would be solely for the purposes of completion of the factory up to phase 1. Unfortunately, despite government intervention in this factory, production at the Atiak Sugar Factory was halted on account of persistent shortage of sugarcane and was closed in 2022 April. Between financial year 2017-2018 to financial year 2019-2020, Government of Uganda, through its investment arm, Uganda Development Corporation, progressively purchased and acquired equity shares worth 81 billion shillings in Horial. During financial year 2017-2018, UDC provided 2 shareholder loans worth 20 billion and through NADS released 54.68 billion in financial year 2019-2020 to support sugarcane outgrowers in Amuru and Lamu districts in order to sustain sugarcane supply to this factory. Additionally, Government of Uganda made available a transport subsidy worth 16 billion shillings in financial year 2019-2020 to transport sugarcane from Busoga to Atiak. All this investment had the sole objective of enabling Horial to complete the factory to phase 1. In financial year 2021-2022, UDC, through a supplementary budget, provided 108 billion meant from mechanization and shares, and in financial year 2022-2023, government, through UDC, added 274.1 billion meant for preference shares. Unknown today is the total percentage shares that government of Uganda has in Horial, because it has continuously injected more funds into this company since the acquisition of equity shares. As broken down, I've provided a table, and the minister will take a look at that. The total investment, both direct and indirect investment, as we speak today, is 553.71 billion shillings. 553.71 billion shillings. It's against the above background that I went with colleagues for this oversight visit with a couple of objectives. One, to evaluate the factory's production capacity, the current operational status and its economic contribution to Uganda's economy. Two, to examine the involvement of local farmers and outgrower schemes in the sugar production chain. Three, to assess the accountability and transparency mechanisms in this factory's operations. Four, to identify any operational, financial or infrastructural challenges faced by the factory. Five, to review the extent of government support and private sector partnerships in the development of this factory. These were some of our findings. One, the factory is currently non-operational, not producing any sugar, and this raises concerns given government's intervention over the years. Management intimated that the reason for non-production is because sugarcane is not readily available. All this despite the huge investment by government. Two, there were ongoing civil and infrastructure development works at the factory, such as construction of water reservoirs and an irrigation system, although they are behind schedule. Management said to us that they hope to get more funding from government to aid with the irrigation. Three, the management of this factory has abandoned the earlier model of planting 60,000 acres of sugarcane from Atiak across to Lamu through farmer cooperatives, and has now instead resorted to planting 25,000 acres of sugarcane in Atiak, owned by the factory. Despite the factory being non-operational for a couple of years, it spends 200 liters of diesel on a daily basis, running turbines apparently to prevent the machines from rusting and malfunctioning. This regular expenditure is disturbing given that there is no production going on. There has been slow delivery of machinery to fast-track mechanization of this factory. At the time of the visit, only some of the required equipment had been delivered, yet these are also incomplete and without the necessary accessories. Uganda Development Corporation, which is supposed to be the overseer of this project on behalf of Government of Uganda, has limited or no presence at all at the operations of the factory. Management told us that the factory's sugarcane plantation, totaling 7,900 acres, had been burnt down in December 2020, and this also affected operations. However, the cause for the fire was unknown. Despite the heavy financial investment of 553.71 billion by government in this joint venture, what is on ground is not commensurate with this investment. It raises questions about whether this is not another white elephant.
It's a procedure matter.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Wouldn't it be fair that the leader of opposition gives a copy for uploading, because we are not really following? No, it's the procedure issue. Let the Speaker decide.
Do you have a copy?
I do, Right Honorable. And
Okay. Do you have a copy for the speaker?
yes, I do. And as you had advised, Right Honorable,
Honourable
that I table it
members,
for
please
government.
upload, but you can go ahead and conclude.
let me wrap up with
We will get a report from.
our.
He's basically presenting. Then we shall get a report on it. It's not anything for discussion.
Thank you, Right Honorable. To ensure the long-term success and sustainability of the Atiak Sugar Factory, the following actions are recommended. 1. Government, through UDC, needs to fast-track the conversion of its preferential shares into ordinary shares so as to increase the negotiating power, strong decision-making and voting powers in this company. 2. UDC should improve oversight and management of the factory's operations through ensuring efficient management and transparency in the use of public funds, put in place clear performance targets as well. 3. Government should conduct a thorough audit of this company to establish whether it is a going concern. 4. While the company is desirous to receive more money from government, we think it is prudent for the already invested 553.71 billion to be accounted for first. There must be value for all this money before we think of investing more. In conclusion, Right Honorable Speaker and members, the government of Uganda's investment in Atiak Sugar Factory through UDC was intended to revitalize northern Uganda's economy, promote agro-industrialization and create jobs. However, all the challenges in place have made it difficult for these intended benefits to accrue. Government should therefore update Parliament on these 3 issues. 1, the exact stake of government in this project. Number 2, the plans there are to see that the 553.71 billion injected by the taxpayer does not go to waste. 3, and finally, how Northern Uganda and Uganda at large can reap the promised benefits from this investment, this project, which the taxpayer has injected heavily in. Honorable Speaker and colleagues, I beg to submit.
Thank you so much. We will get a response from Finance and Attorney General in terms of conversion of the shares and then on the accountability of the money that has been given. So we'll get Finance.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we take note of the Leader of Opposition's concerns, and I undertake to respond in writing.
Thank you. When do we get it? When do we get a response?
Actually, with your indulgence, Right Honorable Speaker, I was going to request that we have some kind of timeline. Yesterday he did commit to bring a response on Roko. Now he's committed to Atiak. If we can have a timeline so that we hold them accountable. When the timeline hits, I will then remind the Minister for that update to Parliament.
Honourable Minister, when do you expect to?
Within 2 weeks, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. 2 weeks is okay, because Iyala will be sitting here. So when we come back here, 2 weeks is okay. Actually, we are going to give you 3 weeks. We'll give you 3 weeks, because I know the 2 weeks. Next item.
Item 3
Yes,
on the order.
Honorable Kira, Municipality.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I am raising a matter of national importance, which I have briefed you about this morning.
Byebyo ebyalo Joro Ssenyonyi ne alipota ku bwasanze agamba kampuni agawa ensimbi z'omiwa omusolo naye ate nga tebakola nga twali kigenda mu maaso ky'amaanyi. Ensimbi ezo batwala za bwereere, babbanzibe, beegabira neegabire, basaanyawo nsaanye, kati byo byagala okumanya kubanga atuseyo nga mazima twali mulimu kugenda mu maaso guli awo gwa makulu era bwe bubaka obwawaddeyo ng'agabawo ekikolebwa era kulanga ssente z'omusolo zibeera accounted for zireme kugabibwanga bugabibwa bwesito nga ziggwawo ng'ate ne kampuni gye bazitaddemu basanga twalina kimu kigenda mu maaso kale bibadde mu Palamen tujja kwongera abantu bogera okubigayagaya paka tulaba tutereeza eggwanga laffe mukama bakuume mweraba.